Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel here once again, and this is going to be another wrestling review. So, what happens when WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year, goes Hollywood? Let's find out. We are reviewing WrestleMania 39, aka WrestleMania Goes Hollywood. But that just took place the past couple days. WrestleMania weekend, of course, on Saturday and Sunday, of course, from Hollywood, aka Inglewood, California. But yeah, so as always, I'm not a professional wrestling reviewer or analyst. Just a man who enjoys a good time, and I, for the most part, had an okay time with the show. The thing about WWE, oftentimes, and honestly anything in pro wrestling, is you gotta take the good with the bad. And there was some good, but there was also some bad. And we're gonna get into it. So, similar to what we did last year for WrestleMania 38, which if you haven't already, go check out that review. But pretty much, I'm gonna be talking about every match, and I'm gonna be talking about both night 1 and night 2. And I'm gonna talk about the best and worst matches from night 1 and night 2. The best and worst from night 1 and the best and worst from night 2, and we're gonna go match by match. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, starting off, surprisingly, no pre-show matches this time around, which is a bit interesting. But let's start off with Austin Theory defending the United States Championship against John Cena, which he defended successfully. Also, I'm going to talk about what I liked and what I disliked about each match. And this one, Austin Theory versus John Cena, it was okay, but it could have been better. Now, John Cena, unfortunately, is starting to get up there in age a little bit, so he's not quite as mobile as he used to be. And Austin Theory did have to work around it. But that being said, I think they still probably could have pulled off a better match, but just wasn't it. It was just kind of a okay match, and Austin Theory doing some shenanigans and some low blow and everything to put away John Cena. But definitely big win to help solidify Austin Theory. He as a U.S. champion and everything, getting a win over John Cena. And thankfully John Cena is at the point in his career where losses don't really hurt his stock too much anymore. He's already paid his dues and everything in pro wrestling, so having some losses putting over the younger talent doesn't really hurt him. Meanwhile, if Cena won here, it definitely would have really decreased Austin Theory's stock. Even though I imagine John Cena probably wouldn't have held the U.S. title for too long, but thankfully Austin Theory got the win here over Cena, so congrats to Austin Theory there. Next up was the men's WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, as the Street Profits faced Braun Strowman and Ricochet, Alpha Academy, and the Viking Raiders, and the Street Profits actually got the win. And you know what? For a match which probably had the least amount of build on the card compared to pretty much every other match, it was actually a really fun match. There was a lot of really cool spots. All 8 guys did some really cool stuff. There'd be some high flying, some strong stuff. Braun Strowman even went to the top rope, which is incredible. For a guy, it's always incredible for someone Braun Strowman size to go to the top rope. Such one Brock Lesnar did, although that one didn't end well at WrestleMania 19. If you haven't already, go check out that review. The only thing is that fatal 4-way format they have for the tag team matches, where it's just 2 guys and you can tag in a member of another team. Why do they keep doing it? I swear, at this point, I think somebody who's booking these matches, is because both WWE and AEW, just someone who's booking these matches, it might even be the same guy, I don't know, but somebody just has it out there for me, because they keep doing that. And spoiler alert, they're going to do it the next night for the women's showcase match on night 2 of WrestleMania. But why? Why can't it just be one person from each team in the ring at the same time, fatal 4-way style? Well, you had the formula like that at Down Packed with the triple threat tag team match at Stand and Deliver, or for the NXT tag titles, which I also reviewed. Go check out that review as well. But just why? I hate that format. I know it's been around for like a while, and maybe I'm going against tradition, but I don't care. I hate that format. But nevertheless, congrats to the Street Profits for getting the win and everything. Hopefully they get a push because the Street Profits are phenomenal. Although apparently their management and everything are both very high on Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. They want to push both of them, and hopefully like they push the Street Profits, whether it be for tag team gold or for singles titles, but don't actually split them up as a team. Just have them pretty much do with them what they did with the New Day, where they still go after titles and accolades and everything, but they stay a team, because I really love the Street Profits and I don't want to see them break up. Next up, Seth freaking Rollins battled Logan Paul and actually put him away. First of all pretty cool entrances. And of course I'm going to be talking about entrances as well, but Logan Paul coming down with the zip line and everything, and actually it was Logan Paul's birthday, so happy birthday, hey Logan Paul. Here's a curb stomp to celebrate. But Logan Paul with the zip line, Seth Rollins with the choir director, which was really cool. Pretty good match between the two. And I'm actually looking, and this is the third longest match. It's about 16 minutes, but it was still really entertaining. KSI with an appearance in the Prime bottle. Well, of course, Logan Paul and KSI, of course, business partners with the Prime Energy drink. And it's funny that Logan Paul and KSI used to have a little bit of beef, but now they're together. Now, they're business partners with the Prime Energy drink and everything. And KSI showed up. A really cool spot where Logan was going to put Seth through the announce table, but Seth pulled KSI on at the last minute, and Logan accidentally took out KSI. So pretty good match between the two. And hopefully Logan keeps up the momentum, because Logan, in win or lose, Logan still put up some actually pretty good matches. And that's why I like Logan. You can tell a bit cocky, a bit arrogant, a bit abrasive, but you can tell he's getting it. He's definitely getting it within the ring. But next up was the 6-woman tag team match as Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch battled and defeated Damage Control. Poor Damage Control. It feels like they're taking L after L. But I guess it is WrestleMania, and the legends they're gonna favor towards and everything. It actually wasn't a bad match, but you can tell Trish Stratus and Lita bit slower now. How maybe it's because they maybe it's some of that ring rust and everything. Of course, Stratus and Lita not competing on like a full-time basis anymore like the other four. But I think Becky, for the most part, did an okay time, and Damage Control as well, did a pretty good job of kind of working around Stratus and Lita. No disrespect to them, of course, legends and everything, but so okay match, but hopefully they do something better with Damage Control, because I really like them. I like all three of Damage Control. I like Bailey. She's really cool. Dakota Kai, of course, King Coda, and of course Io Sky, the genius of the sky. Hey, hopefully they do way better with them. Next up was Ray versus Dominik. Father versus son, with Ray getting the win over Dominik. And pretty good match for the most part, and a pretty cool entrance is Dominik coming out from the jail cell and everything with the police escort, because Dominik served the hard time, and then Ray coming out with the lowrider and Snoop Dogg was really cool. Well, a pretty decent match between the two. Dominik starting to get the whole heel thing even more down packed, and Dominik, honestly, you gotta give it to Dominik. He's improved so much since he first really got into wrestling back in 2020 at SummerSlam. He's definitely come a long way, really coming into his own. But Ray, of course, teaching his son Dominik a lesson, literally whipping him with the belt and everything. And Dominik, even or Ray, I should say, getting a bit of an assist from Bad Bunny, and Bad Money also helping to repel the Judgment Day and everything, which the Judgment Day did show up. Surprisingly, the only member of the Judgment Day that didn't have an actual match on WrestleMania was Damian Priest. I don't even think Damian Priest was in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which kind of sucks. But nevertheless, Rey getting the win over Dominik. And then, based on what happened on the Raw after WrestleMania, and we'll get to that, it looks like things are far, far from over between Rey and Dominik. And I imagine that had to have been pretty cool for Rey to be able to step inside the ring and wrestle his son and everything. But next up, Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Man, what a match. And honestly, no amount of words can really put into perspective how awesome this match was. You gotta check it out for yourself. And Rhea Ripley defeating Charlotte to become the new SmackDown Women's Champion, avenging her loss from 3 years ago. So congrats to Rhea Ripley on that front. Rhea Ripley, literally the only member of the Judgment Day to get the win at WrestleMania. But so we'll see how Rhea does as SmackDown Women's Champion. And definitely a fantastic match. Next up, Pat McAfee in kind of an impromptu match. Snoop Dogg made an impromptu match. Pat McAfee against the Miz. It's kind of a nothing match, kind of like a bathroom break match. But Pat got the win, so there's that. Miz literally got no offense, and it was kind of just like a little mini thing, just kind of a bathroom break to get ready for the main event, which the main event was the Usos defending the Undisputed Tag Team Championship against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn actually getting the win over the Usos after a really fantastic match. A lot of action, a lot of emotion, everything. And honestly, the strongest matches of the night are between either Rhea Ripley for Charlotte Flair and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos for two very different reasons. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair had a lot of action, a lot of cool moments, but this one, Owens and Zayn versus the Usos, had a lot of emotion with Sami doing 3 haluva kicks to Jay, almost looking heartbroken that he has to do that to Jay, someone he considered to be like a brother and everything. And just seeing how the storyline has culminated and come this far with the bloodline and everything, and just fantastic stuff. And made for a fantastic emotional main event, and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn finally winning both of their first tag team championships in WWE, so congrats to both of them. So for night one, and also, I don't know if I mentioned, I'll also be comparing which was better, night one or night two. For night one, the strongest matches definitely were, like I mentioned, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in really, really fantastic matches. The weakest match, if you can call it that, is Pat McAfee in the mid. But yeah, so now we move on to night two, starting with Brock Lesnar versus Omos. Not a big fan of this one. This one was booked really weirdly because Brock Lesnar beat Omos, even though Omos did a majority of the damage, but a few suplexes at an F5 and Omos is down just like that. I mean, Brock winning, you probably could have seen like coming like a mile away, but it was really weird. Like, hey, why did Brock just like squash Omos? Squash Omos. Jeez, I cannot speak today. Squash. Why did Brock Lesnar squash Omos? There we go. Why did Brock Lesnar squash Omos? Why did Omos do most of the damage just for Brock to come back, hit like one F5 and a few suplexes to Omos? Now, the fact that Brock Lesnar can suplex Omos in the first place is impressive, but wasn't really a big fan of this one. And it's the second shortest match of the night, and we'll get to the shortest. Next up was the women's Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Showcase as Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler battled Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, Natalya and Shotzi, and Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. And Rousey and Baszler getting the win, and with Rousey tapping out Shotzi. Between the men's and the women's showcase match, I feel like the women's sadly was the weaker of the two, but it's still okay. Hey, just not as good as the other one, but you tell they tried. Next up, definitely probably the match of the night. Giving away kind of the match of the night. Gunter battling Sheamus and Drew McIntyre in a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. Banger after banger after banger indeed, because man, this match was fantastic. Just all kinds of awesome moments, all kinds of insanity. The hard hits, all three guys' chests were on fire, looked like hamburger meats, and I was here for it. All kinds of brutality between the three guys, and Gunther picking up the win and staying Intercontinental Champion. I imagine Gunther's probably gonna beat Honky Tonk Man's record, which it's funny that Honky Tonk Man is the one with the record Intercontinental title reign, but Gunther's probably going to blow that out of the water. But man, Gunther, he's had some really awesome matches for the Intercontinental Championship, and I predicted that this would be a good match. Of course, Gunther and Sheamus put on a barn burner at Clash of the Castle. Sheamus and Drew McIntyre have had awesome matches. Gunther and Drew McIntyre just on paper sounds like an awesome match. So put those three together and you had a fantastic match. A definitely big, meaty match with a lot of chops and a lot of stiff shots. Oh yeah, sign me up. Next up, Bianca Belair, her battling Asuka and actually defeating Asuka, which did catch me by surprise a little bit. But of course, 50-50 shot. It was either going to be Bianca Belair or Asuka. But Bianca Belair officially reached 1 year as Raw Women's Champion. So props to her. But still a pretty good match between these two. Sadly, between this match and Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair in terms of the Women's Championship matches, this one, and again, was the weaker of the two. But it's still a pretty good match. I liked it for the most part. And Bianca getting the win over Asuka, and really cool entrance for both of them. Asuka with the different people in the Asuka mask, Bianca Belair performing with the, I believe they're called the Divas of Compton. And on a sad note, the one girl that Bianca was coming down to the ring with, her mother had passed away actually that day, if I'm not mistaken. So my condolences to her family and everything. But yeah, so pretty good match. Next up, again, kind of like the bathroom break match. This time, I'm Snoop Dogg booking another impromptu match for The Miz. Is this time Shane McMahon, who tore his quad in the middle of the match. Oh joy! But Snoop Dogg definitely calling an audible, getting in there and just beating The Miz up, and they just allowed it, I guess. Snoop Dogg was simultaneously the best and worst people's elbow of all time. It was kind of another match that was entertaining, and Snoop just defeating The Miz and everything. So yeah, kind of just your bathroom break match. He'll get a snack match there. Then Edge battling and defeating the Demon Finn Balor in Hell in a Cell. Oh, right off the bat, really cool entrances for both. A bit weird though for Finn, because Finn came out to his face theme for the Demon, even though Finn Balor's supposed to be a heel, unless this means Finn Balor's turning face. But yeah, so both guys definitely put each other through a lot in the match. Finn even, and I think it was when Edge threw the ladder out and Finn split the top of his head open. It looked really nasty, so he had to get a numbing shot and kind of get stapled right at ringside to continue the match. Props to Finn, he is a trooper. And also, that's the second time I can think of where Finn has been horribly injured as the Demon. The first being against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam 2016. But yeah, so but otherwise, pretty decent Hell in a Cell match. The one thing, though, that was kind of weird, are the chairs and the kendo sticks being both purple and red. That was kind of weird. But we also have the old school Hell in a Cell, the silver one. And bye-bye, red cell. Welcome back, cool silver cell. Oh, you were definitely missed, my friend. But, yeah, so otherwise, pretty good match. Edge defeating the Demon was kind of predictable. Well, one probably could have seen that coming. In fact, I think I predicted that when I did my predictions for WrestleMania 39 over on System Shock Radio episode 97, which if you haven't already, go check out that episode. But otherwise, yeah, pretty decent match for the most part. And then finally, the moment I'm sure a lot of you have been waiting for me to talk about. So let's get into it. The main event: Roman Reigns, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, defeating Cody Rhodes, who's for the undisputed championship. Yep, you heard that right. Hey, Cody Rhodes, the man who won the Royal Rumble, who's been building up the story of his dad not being world champion, him finishing the story, having the t-shirt to finish the story, came out, big pyro, even though Rollins was bigger for some reason. And Cody Rhodes with the big pyro, hugging his wife and his daughter, giving the weight belt to Brody Lee Jr., just for him to lose in the main event. Why? Yes, Roman Reigns won on the match and everything. And it was still a good match, but that ending and Solo being ejected just to show back up later, or with the distraction from Paul and the Usos also getting involved. It was really, really weird and really, really strange having that kind of ending. And now, it was predicted by a lot of people, myself included. I will openly admit, myself included, I thought Cody was winning this match. And honestly, Cody really should have won this match. Like, here's the thing. Now that Cody has failed as well to win the WWE Universal Championship, the Undisputed Championship, who else is there? Roman might as well retire with the title. He's beaten pretty much everybody. In sight, all the major people who theoretically could win the championship. This made no sense to me at all. And apparently this had nothing to do with the WWE UFC merger by Endeavor that took place actually today. Technically yesterday, because now it's midnight, but this apparently had nothing to do with that merger, so I don't know. But it was really, really weird. All the pieces were there, and it was kind of predictable for Cody to win, but oftentimes things being predictable aren't always bad things. In fact, sometimes things are predictable because it's what we want. And I'm sure a majority of people wanted Cody to win the match, and equates to like a movie, which is kind of ironic because they're in Hollywood and everything, but equates to like a movie. It is kind of predictable to have the hero win, to topple the villain, to give the villain their comeuppance. But even though it's predictable, it's still what the audience wants if it's done right. Now, it's not. This is not always. I should clarify. This doesn't always happen in movies. Sometimes in the movies, the villain does win because that's the point of that movie. But in the traditional movie, the traditional hero versus villain movie, where the hero wins, is when the movie is done right. You want to see the hero succeed. It's what you want. You want to see the hero finally give the villain their comeuppance and walk off into the sunset. Yeah, it's predictable. Yeah, you can see it coming a mile away, but it's because it's what you want and it's what you expect. And Cody, by all intents and purposes, should have won the title there. It was WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year. Roman had held this title since his payback of 2020. Literally, the guy he beat for the title was released and then came back. And heck, that of course being Bray Wyatt. Why not have Cody win here? It made no sense to me. It baffled me. My boy Steve, aka Plax TV, he was pretty upset at it. One of my friends, my friend Mark, actually called it and I was making fun of me a little bit, which I guess I deserve, but it was really weird. Now, the fact that Cody lost due to bloodline shenanigans, both from the Usos and from Solo, who, even though he got ejected, showed up anyway, even though they did the exact same thing on Saturday. With Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker. Also, when I reviewed Santa Deliver, now the fact that there was a lot of that interference, I guess, does kind of take the sting off it a little bit. The fact that Cody didn't lose clean. Now, if Cody had lost clean, it would have been a lot worse. Now, Cody would have looked like a total loser, but I guess as having the interference and everything takes the sting off it, but it's really weird. And that is WrestleMania, but we're not quite done yet, because as I actually finished watching, it came on tonight and everything, the Raw after WrestleMania, so we might as well talk about that. Right off the bat, this is probably, no joke, no hyperbole, no exaggeration, no nothing, this has got to be like the weakest Raw after Mania, probably ever. The thing is, like, the Raw after Mania is supposed to be like this big thing. We're supposed to see a lot of big surprises, people returning, sometimes NXT call-ups, big surprises. Compared to like last year, we had Elias come back as Ezekiel, but we had Veer Mahan finally make his debut after like 20 years of Veer Mahan is coming. We had surprises last year. This year, one surprise, one like return, and that's Matt Riddle. Not even Randy Orton, and just Matt Riddle. That's it. But a whole lot of nothing. And this is not even a nothing burger. This is a nothing combo. This is a straight up nothing combo with a side of nothing fries and a tall nothing drink. Was this Raw after Mania? Nothing really going on. Just some of like a lot of talking, hardly any action. I think there was only like 3, maybe 4 matches. Let's see. There was Austin Theory versus Rey Mysterio. There was the women's tag team qualifying match, which is weird because Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler weren't in there, even though they won the Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania, so what was the point of that match? Then Street Profits versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. But the reason for that, they were building towards this big main event of Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa versus Cody Rhodes and a partner of his choosing. And Paul laying out the stipulation. Whoever this is, had to have competed at WrestleMania, and also can't challenge Roman for the championships again. And it was Brock Lesnar who showed up to answer the challenge, which apparently Brock, as I learned, apparently the stipulation of Brock's match with Reigns at SummerSlam, with Roman at SummerSlam, and of last year, was that Brock couldn't challenge for the titles anymore, which I actually didn't know. I must have missed that part. But yeah, so this big match they're building towards, this very big major main event, and they built up that Brock hadn't competed on Raw since 2002, hadn't had a tag team match since 2004, which is actually pretty surprising. And literally almost 20 years since he's competed on Raw, and literally almost 20 years since he had a tag team match. Well, no, over 20 years since he competed on Raw, and then almost 20 years for the tag team match. They built up this main event, and what do we get from it? This big sacrifice with little to no surprises is all building up to this big, historic, awesome, hard-hitting main event of Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes teaming up to take on Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. So what's the likely outcome? Only Brock Lesnar turning on Cody and just beating him up to close out Raw, just beating the crap out of him. Now the thing is about WWE, I try to give them the benefit of the doubt. I can't hate WWE. There's a lot of people who kind of hate WWE now. me, I can't see myself hating WWE. Like, maybe it's nostalgia because I watched them a lot as a kid. I can't hate WWE, but this booking is it's something. Like, I think the point was just to embarrass Cody between what happened at Mania and then what happened on Raw with Cody just getting decimated by Brock. It's this just feels like it was set up to embarrass Cody. Were they really that upset with Cody forming AEW, breaking the throne and everything? Like, what is going on with this booking? Some stuff got furthered a little bit, I guess. Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley had a standoff, which that would be a pretty good match. And Bad Bunny went through a table, so I guess Bad Bunny and Rey Mysterio versus Dominik and Damian. But other than that, it just ended with Cody getting beat up. And if Raw was like kind of nothing before this big Raw after WrestleMania, which WWE themselves have hyped up, if that Raw was just like kind of boring, kind of dull, that and after that ending, it just went to infuriating. Steve, again, Black CB, both on YouTube and on Twitch, he was pissed, and I was pretty upset too about it. But Steve was downright pissed, and we were talking about it and everything. Like why? Like, what was the point of any of this? It's ridiculous, and there's people who try to defend it, saying Dusty was screwed out of the world title as well. Also, is kind of continuing that, and maybe it's going to lead to Cody winning the world title later on down the line, and finally being the one to topple Roman. Some have alluded to the bloodline splitting and Jay being the one to take the titles off of Roman, in which Jay, it wouldn't be a bad thing. It would make sense. Jay was like the first person that Roman beat, and even some dissension being teased in the show itself, and this Raw, where Jay and Jimmy were kind of lied to, saying to get on the jet, and Roman very upset with them for losing the tag titles. But at the expense of Cody, why couldn't it be like, hey, here's an alternative. If Cody wins at Mania, which in my opinion he should have, Cody wins at Mania, and then Jay challenges him. Roman doesn't like that, so Roman is like, Jay, who do you think you are? Why are you trying to take my titles? And you build the feud from there, and then even have The Rock show up from there. But the way they're going about this, I don't know. Oh, and I try to defend WWE as much as I can, but I just don't know. Like this booking is wonky. It is definitely wonky. Now, I have a sneaking suspicion that this this definitely feels like a Vince McMahon style booking. This show. Oh, they say Triple H is still in charge of creative, but honestly, with this, I'm kind of not buying it. But also, I wonder if this has anything to do with the WWE UFC merger, or maybe this was a condition of the merger. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, because I don't know for sure. I can't say for sure, or whether yes, this was a result of that, or no, this wasn't. But just this feels off. This feels like deliberate. Like, hey, if this is kind of revenge for Cody leaving WWE, forming AEW and everything, could you not put her feelings or pride and ego aside, and just do the business with Cody? This is what the fans want, and WWE's supposed to be listening to the fans, even though that's not always the case. This is what the fans wanted. Could you not just put that aside? And I sadly kind of know the answer to that, because Vince, when Vince feels slighted, the booking is going to affect that. And now, the reason I thought this might have been a result of the a result of the merger is because Roman and sadly is a lot more recognizable as champion than Cody. Yeah, I feel like a lot more people know who Roman is as opposed to Cody. That obviously people know who Cody is, but not quite as much as Roman. Roman, definitely big star. So having that major star as the champion, it does look attractive. And at the end of the day, WWE is still a business, and so the most logical business decision is the one that they're going to make. Hence this merger in the first place. That being said, though, if this really isn't a byproduct of the merger, is Roman being champion and then this booking of Cody, then I don't know at this point. I mean, for now, we'll have to see how it plays out. I'm just going to keep watching, and I don't often watch like Raw or SmackDown, but I still keep up to date on like the social medias like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that. And I still try to keep up to date, but I don't know, man. Like, hey, the thing is, and people brought this up, even Cody winning down the line. Let's say Cody gets his rematch at WrestleMania Backlash, which is going to be set in Puerto Rico, which is actually really awesome. Cody gets his rematch there and wins, and it's still going to be a big pop, and I'm sure people are still going to be happy and excited, but it's not as big as WrestleMania. Like, WrestleMania was the time, and WWE didn't capitalize on it. Maybe there's a long-term plan in effect. Apparently, now there's reports saying, and I forget who reported it, saying that apparently Roman losing to Cody was the plan all along for, like, what they say is several weeks. But, I don't know, we'll have to see. I guess I'll just hang in there for now. But I will also say, the people who are sending death threats to the bloodline and saying all this evil, nasty stuff to Roman. Some people even saying they want his leukemia to come back. That is absolutely disgusting, and those are some deplorable words, and you should not say that. I don't care how mad you get, don't wish death on anyone. Don't wish bad things on anyone. That is awful, and that is deplorable, and that is despicable. But that is going to do it for this review, and sorry for the kind of mini rant at the end there. Just had to get that off my chest. So, WrestleMania, interesting for the most part. And oh shoot, I didn't even talk about the best and worst moments from night 2. The best match, definitely what I alluded to, the triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship as Gunter versus Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. The weakest, I'm not going to put the main event as the weakest because for what it was still a good match, just that ending really soured a lot of people. But as for like the weakest match, again, it's gonna go to Snoop Dogg / Shane McMahon against the Miz. But also props to Snoop Dogg for calling the audible, saying Shane was hurt and everything, but still keeping it going. Props to Snoop Dogg for that. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this review. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And let me know your thoughts about everything in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree with my sentiments? Who did you want to win the main event? And yeah, let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video so you can see as soon as it drops. And I will see you guys later. Peace.